Hello and welcome back to our 10th year anniversary series of Warband, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and take Etrosq Castle. Now, we're still in Rodok's territory, as you might expect, and I have been told by one of you in the comments that the Nightmare Siege, which is not actually Grunwalder Castle, but it is Almera Castle. Yeah, now, here's the thing. If you don't know where Almera Castle is, like me, because I'm obviously, a little bit rusty about where everything is in this version of Calradia, Almera Castle is on the border, or very close to the Saranids, and it is a Rodok fief. And apparently, according to one of you, that is indeed the one where you go in through the main gate and then you are surrounded on all sides by massive amounts of ranged enemies, and they're going to absolutely tear you apart. Or at least you can hope that you can hope that they won't. But anyway, we are now going to attempt to take Etrosq Castle. Now, I was wanting to take the other castle very, very close by to this one, but unfortunately that one is a siege tower, and generally, as I say, even though siege towers are not actually that bad, I think that they're okay. The only thing that is problematic with them is the waiting time. It takes a huge amount of time to build the siege tower itself, and then it also takes a massive amount of time to move the siege tower to the walls. That is the only thing that I would say is really, really bad about siege towers. Because apart from that, they're actually not bad. They give you a really, really decent entry point onto the battlements. They're basically going to make it really smooth for your units to get into, action and actually start fighting people. But yeah, this ladder actually is proving to be pretty good. I'm super surprised about that, actually. I thought to myself, we're going to have some pretty big issues here. What am I getting shot by the way? I'm not even realizing what I'm getting shot by right now. Am I getting shot by these? Surely not, right? Maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but I'm absolutely murdering everything in my path at the moment, which is exactly what we want to do. We want to try and be as efficient as possible. Lord Knudarr is actually helping me at the moment as well, so I'm thinking we're probably going to be awarding this to him. There are the crossbowmen. Those ones over there were actually shooting me, I believe, and maybe some of those over there on the opposite side of the battlements. Okay, yeah. So we're obviously going to have to do something about them. Oh, hello. Okay. More reinforcements coming in from the other side here as well. Okay, my forces are splitting up pretty badly, so I'm going to try and see if I can maybe lend my assistance here. I've got to be really careful about these Rodok sergeants. They are really going to be very difficult for me to deal with, especially considering I am mostly focusing on two-handed. Obviously, my Bardiche is pretty fast, but I believe the Rodok sergeants actually do come equipped with some pretty fast attack speed swords and things like that. So it could be pretty difficult for us to deal with them in a close quarters situation. So let's try and be a little bit, reserve ourselves a little bit here. Try to make sure that we maintain as much HP as possible. And I've actually also got to remember, I have to remember this, and I have to continually remind myself about this as well, that I actually do have a ranged solution now. I do have a crossbow, and hopefully I'm going to be able to utilize that in the coming fights as well. But of course, it is a bit unreliable at the moment, so I'm kind of wanting to be as efficient as possible, and I'm basically wanting to make sure that I am always doing something that is going to be considered a positive influence on the battle, rather than me running around, or indeed, in the case of a crossbow, just kind of shooting randomly into enemies and not really doing that much damage. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. That's kind of a negative, it's kind of a negative influence on the battle. It's kind of helping the opponent, because if I'm not doing anything, oh, okay, hello. Probably not going to be going that way. Almost got absolutely murdered. Don't know whether you heard all of the whooshes of the bolts and various arrows streaming toward me, as you can see right there. Wow, this is actually one of the most dangerous places for us to be right now, and the enemy has an enormous population of crossbowmen on the other side of this building. I am really, really worried about this, actually. I think we might even lose a massive amount of units, actually. We might even... I don't even know. I'm not even entirely sure whether we're even going to be able to do this. You can see exactly why I say that. Look at how many crossbowmen they have available here. This is absolutely insane. And I'm going to try and do some damage here. I'm going to try and get a bit closer to them as well so that I can maybe disrupt them from attacking. This is not working out as intended. Okay, I've got some people on me right now. Hopefully they're not going to shoot me. This guy needs to die. He's a sharpshooter. There we go. And oh my. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to actually just try to cleave through them a little bit here. So I'm just going to try and do as much damage as I possibly can. And I don't want to die. That's the whole thing. I cannot really die, because if I do die, that is the end of the fight. And we really don't want that. So I'm going to have to be really... Yeah, never mind. I'm dead. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. They spawned all around me. There was nothing I could do. Okay, so I'm actually really interested to see how many enemies I actually killed there. We killed 250. Okay, I'm actually surprised that we weren't able to take it. Okay, they only have 50. Okay, they only have 50 remaining. Okay, that's not even that big a deal. That is all right. Okay. I was kind of surprised to see that they still had units available because, as I say, we were actually doing remarkably well. I thought we were doing quite nicely, actually, all things considered. Considering this is indeed one of those ladders that I personally think is very difficult to really work with. It's one of those, you know, it's one of those that has a very minuscule width to it and has much greater chances for me to just basically fall off over and over again. But I've given them a little bit of time, really, to a little bit, I don't know, to regenerate themselves somewhat. And I'm not a big fan of that. Now, the main reason why I'm also getting hit by these enemies right here is because I don't have anything in shield, or at least in general. Like, you know, okay, so here's the thing. If you're really good at using a shield, then you might be able to, you know, determine where the enemy is going to shoot, and then you might be able to prevent yourself from taking damage, and maybe even prevent yourself from dying altogether. But shield is always going to be useful. If you're a one-handed and shield user, shield is invaluable, because it's basically going to mean that you will have a much larger radius no matter what size shield you have. So technically, if you have the smallest shield in the world, if you have 10 in shield, it's still going to be pretty good then. It's going to be increasing the overall radius of your protection that you have. So that's obviously going to make a pretty big difference. But as it stands, I don't have anything in shield, because of course I don't. I'm a two-handed user, so of course I'm not going to be having anything in that regard, which is definitely going to make things more difficult for me in the long run when we actually start to get into battles against, for example, the Vaegirs. Let's not even talk about the Vaegirs right now, because they're probably... I'm actually wondering whether they're even going to be kind of difficult for us to deal with. They might actually be easier than expected, mostly because of the fact that they have very fast firing units. And you may think, well, oh, okay, what difference does that make? Well, here's the thing about that. Fast-firing units are going to expend their ammunition so incredibly quickly, much quicker than crossbowmen, for example, and that's going to make all the difference in the world for us to be able to, well, should we say, starve them of ammunition. And technically, we could do that. Technically, we could try to do it in in like a siege way. So for example, let's say that I'm taking one of the first towns of the Vaegirs, and we know that they have, I don't know, 20 marksmen in there or something like that, and marksmen obviously are the highest tier of archer that they have, and the Vaegirs are obviously the best archers in the game. So they are gonna do a massive amount of damage if you allow them to. But here's the thing, what if we went and we basically just took a bunch of Nord Huskars or something like that. We took those and we just stood outside of the walls, just waiting for the enemy to use all of their ammunition. And that is technically a rather viable strategy. I wouldn't say it's the best by any means. It's really kind of, a bit boring, to be honest. It's a bit boring because we have to stand outside the walls, and it just takes a long time for them to expend all of their ammunition and so on and so forth. But that's the thing, they do it faster than anyone. The Vaegirs are going to expend their ammunition really, really quickly, and it's going to be just a walk in the park after that to go in And that's it. And I'm talking about standing really far away from the walls here, not close at all, but far enough away so that the accuracy of the marksman, or the the various units inside, is going to be dramatically reduced. At least that's the plan. So we'll see what happens with that. But otherwise, we're going to be giving this to Lord Knudarr. As I say, I personally felt like he came through for us in a pretty big way right here, and I'm actually really pleased that he did that. So I'm going to be giving him another reward. I mean, why wouldn't I give him another reward, right? I mean, considering he came along and actually helped us in our time of need when no one else did, I think that's a pretty nice thing to do. So yeah, anyway, he has 37 in the garrison there. I was actually wanting to take Valuka in this episode, but there were a couple of vassals in there, and I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone. Just gonna leave it alone for the moment. I would like to take Maras Castle if at all possible, so let's actually see whether we can even do that. There's Lord Aedin as well. Lord Aedin is coming to help us, which is, I suppose, kind of nice. And this is indeed a ladder castle as well. What I do need to do, though, is I do need to consider running away and basically just going back to home base. Just going back to my, to my own fiefs, going back to things like Sargoth and Wurcheg and so on and so forth, and basically just, getting rid of the, I don't want to be too harsh by saying dead weight, but basically the units that we're not really going to be using in our final composition. In other words, getting rid of the Rhodoks, getting rid of the various farmers and looters and so on and so forth that we have here. I mean, the Slaver Chiefs are really good, Sword Sisters are really good, Vagirs are okay, I don't really mind using them that much. But things like the Mountain Bandit, they just become Rhodoks, and I don't really want to use Rhodoks because that's actually going to have a pretty big, not a pretty big impact on our morale, but they're going to have a small amount, and I don't really want to complicate things any more than they have to be. So that's the reason why I'd like to try and, tidy things up somewhat. And I'm going to get shot to pieces right here. This is a really, really good way for archer-based armies to win this, because you can see very quickly that the enemy's garrison is exposed to the nines. I mean, really, look at them. They are just completely exposed. The battlements here are very, very lackluster, and it's going to make things very easy for any enemy archers to do pretty good damage. So if we are at any point in the future going to be doing a siege at Maras Castle, and we are the defenders, I'm going to be telling all my forces to hold position way back, much deeper into the keep, because we really do not want the enemy's archers, especially if it's the Rhodoks, for example, we really don't want them to have maximum value from their crossbowmen, because that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to spawn in, and then they'll just be able to shoot us from where they spawn. As you can see, some of our people are already doing that, and they're just going to tear us apart as a result of them doing that. So yeah, anyway, oh, okay, hello. This is not going to work out too well. Let's see if I can actually survive this. I am very much doubting that that will be the case. Okay, wow, good parry, sir. Good parry. Alright, there we go. Okay, gotta be a little bit careful. Take this guy out, thank you. And I'm really wanting to take it. Oh, hello. Oh, you came back. Okay. I was fully expecting him to not be there. Alright. Anyway, I'm gonna try if I can. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's not do that. I'm just gonna turn around so my shield on my back hopefully prevents me from taking any additional damage. And we're just gonna go over here for the moment. I might decide to drop down. I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna be able to do that. Gonna have to do a little bit of dodging here. Okay. Not entirely sure what's even going on right now, because I'm literally swinging and doing 0 damage. Okay, that's kind of weird. Anyway, I am hopefully done with eliminating these archers. Or not, as the case may be, because that's exactly what can happen, and definitely something that you want to look out for as well. If you are, attempting to do like me and eliminate some of the enemy's archers, you really need to be very, very careful about the other archers that are somewhere around there, because they are definitely going to look out for their friends. That's exactly what happened just then. Alright, so I'm just going to jump down here, I'm probably going to get myself eliminated, but I hope not. What is the archer doing? Are you serious? I'm literally trying to kill your spearman, and you are trying to defend your spearman. I don't even know why they would do that with their swords. I really don't, but okay. Okay, I'm just going to try and go in here. Gotta be careful though, gotta be really, really careful, because I don't want to get spawned on by the reinforcements like they did last time. Yeah, here we go, new enemies coming in. So just gonna be a bit careful. Just gonna eliminate as many people as I can. We've got to be very careful about the crossbowmen as well. I could get shot at any time and killed, so I'm gonna try to move back just a little bit and try and help out some of our forces. Because we need to make make them advance. We need to make them advance. And the best way we can do that is by helping them with any fights that they're getting themselves embroiled in. But let's actually just take a quick look. Okay, yeah. We need to do much more damage. I'm really not wanting to go here, to be honest. There are going to be more enemies coming in. There will be more. There will be more. So I'm going to do a little bit of hiding here for the moment. Just going to try and distract them. As you can see, I'm just kind of being a bit of a nuisance to these guys. There we go. And that guy's getting out his crossbow now. Are you serious? Okay. What a sneaky so-and-so he is. Okay, yeah. Now he's moving away, and now hopefully I can do some damage here. I've got to be really careful about the new enemies spawning in. I'm pretty sure... Actually, never mind. Okay, I actually thought they were going to receive more reinforcements, but apparently not. Apparently they have completely drained off, and there it is. That is indeed the end of the battle. Very nice. Okay, so we were able to now take another castle, which is great. This actually improves our chances of basically doing anything tenfold. And the reason for that is that the enemy is going to be preoccupied. They're going to be so preoccupied thinking about, oh yes, we must take back this castle and we must take back that castle, and so on and so on. We're going to give this to Lord Aedin because he was also someone that came to come and help me. So I'm going to give him one of these. All right, so yes, anyway, I'm going to go down to YALEN, actually. I'm going to go down to YALEN because I'd like to see what's actually going on there. Maybe there's something amazing, maybe there isn't, but if there's an opportunity, then I would like to try and take advantage of it as best as I can. So let's have a look. 400 units. Do you think I can actually deal with a garrison of 400? I think it depends. I think it depends. And it depends very much on, as I say, battlefields and siege layouts and all that stuff. That all makes a huge difference. And you'd think, oh yeah, well duh, you know, obviously it's going to make a huge difference. But it really makes so much more of a difference than you might even imagine. Anyway, we're going to be getting another point in pathfinding here, and then another point in Ironflesh. Don't see any point for us to go anywhere else. And I think that's pretty much it. There we go. Okay, and now we need to, I need to level up, personally. I really need to level up pretty badly. I want to get engineering leveled up really, really harshly, actually, because if we can level that up, we're going to have an even easier time of taking those siege towers, and that's the main reason why I really want to do that, because if I can get to a point where we have 9, maybe even 10, I don't know whether that's even going to be possible, but maybe I can get 10 in engineering, then I'm probably going to have very little time to wait for the siege towers to be built. So I would love that. If we can actually make that happen, I would love that. Anyway, oh, hello there. All right, the Vagiers are now declaring war against us. Okay, this is real bad. This is real bad. Okay, I'm not entirely sure how we're going to do this, but let's just try our best, shall we? If I do get eliminated here, I'm going to be moving straight away from Rodok territory, and we're going to be refocusing our efforts on the Vagiers. Doesn't seem like it would be a good idea for us to stay in Rodok territory while that's happening. I've got to be super careful here. This is such a... oh, this is a bad layout, actually. I'm kind of worried about this layout, to be honest. The enemy generally does like to focus, or should we say the AI does like to focus on the player character quite a bit with ranged units. So I'm very much hoping that I will be able to get onto the battlements a bit quicker, please. A bit quicker, please, fellows. I don't think that's going to happen at the moment, so maybe I should just bring out my crossbowman and see if crossbow, should I say, not my crossbowman. Oh yes, I have a crossbowman in my bag. Yeah, do you want to see him? What a crazy thing. Anyway, it's a bottomless bag of holding. Yes, indeed. I have a whole crossbowman in here. How many crossbowmans can you fit in that bad boy? Yeah, that kind of thing. Anyway, let me see if I can get some long-range kills. I actually already got one, which is pretty nice, and maybe I can get another one. Because I think we did get to 100. I am actually thinking in Bannerlord terms now, because I'm thinking, oh yes, I can get a perk. No, there are no such perks. There are no such perks. Okay, kind of sad, but it's actually proving to be quite useful because I'm getting more accuracy, much more accuracy than I was before, and I'm actually getting more reliability out of my shots. Although, yeah, just ignore what I last said there, because I literally just missed 3 times in a row. More reliability? Yeah, right. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, yeah. I know this layout. This is a grind layout. This is a grinding layout if ever I saw one and if ever I remember it, because this basically has you running through the battlement area just fighting and fighting and fighting. And I gotta say, this is really good for my purposes. This is really good for me to level up. Absolutely perfect for that. But it is going to be a case of if I can get by. If I can get by and actually contribute to the fight, we are going to have a much easier time of things in the long run. But if I cannot, then I don't know whether we're going to win. That will be the test here. So let me just take out these crossbowmen. No, you're not going to shoot me, sir. Thank you very much. No. Oh, okay. I was just about to strafe to the right, but no, he basically just died. Okay, so that's perfect. Anyway, let me see if I can do some damage with this. And wow, that was a wonderful 23 damage. Good work. Can I get some headshots, please? Okay, apparently not. Yeah, so apparently we're doing pretty well. I'm actually kind of surprised. Because I thought to myself, okay, we shouldn't be too bad, right? We shouldn't be too bad here, but I'm really surprised that we are already in a place where we can just grind against the enemy and just absolutely kill them, and we don't really need to worry. But I'm really pleased about that. I was thinking that we were going to have a huge problem where they were going to stop us round about here, where I'm pointing with my crosshair right there, because that is a pretty tight area, and it's going to make things much easier for the enemy's crossbowmen to continue trying to pick us off. But as it stands right now, look at exactly what's happening. Basically, they can't do anything. They can't do anything against us right now. And I can just freely farm headshot kills, or at least I can try to get headshot kills, because, I mean, it's me, so generally I do miss quite a lot. But I'm going to try and pick up some crossbow bolts in a second as well. There we go. All right. Can I pick up some? Did you drop some? Yep, there we go. Fantastic. They did actually drop a couple. And now I can continue to shoot into the enemy, and we can hopefully get some more crossbow skill. Bear in mind, however, I'm not going to really be able to get a massive amount of crossbow skill because I don't have any weapon master. I have very little weapon master, so I'm probably only going to have the ability to get to about probably 140, maybe 140, and then everything after that's going to be kind of a grind, bit of a slog to get additional skill points or additional weapon proficiency in crossbow. So we're just going to have to continue using it and then just see what happens. Basically, it's going to be one of those things where we just have to keep on going, you know, just keep on going. And who knows, maybe it's actually going to be kind of surprising. We might actually get a little bit luckier. But I'm actually really surprised. Are we, what? We're already going to win? Okay. I was actually going to say, should I go in there and try to get behind the enemy, and then I can just do damage however I like? But it seems like I didn't even need to do that because my forces just completely murdered everyone in here. Really surprising that we were able to do this. Now, here's the thing. Now we have a pretty good amount of leverage over the Rhodoks, and I'm very much hoping that they are going to offer us a peace agreement. Now, here's the problem. We're now going to have to fight through the streets. This is going to be a little easier than fighting through, well, fighting in the keep, of course. Because fighting in the keep, they always, I don't know why, but they always give me really weak units. The one time I've done that so far, they gave me really weak units. So I'm not a terribly big fan of fighting in the keep, but we'll see what happens. And my forces, wait a minute. Hello there, sir. Okay, yeah, this is very easy for us. Nord warrior is gonna make, okay, apparently not gonna make quick work of him. And I had to help him out. And we do have one other fellow in this direction. There we go. Perfect. Alright, so now we're going to go into the keep, or at least I think we'll probably be going into the keep, right? Yep. And now we're going to have to do something here. Okay, now I'm going to have to be really good. Yes. Going to have to be really good at actually, you know, playing the game and being efficient and everything. Whoa, what a rarity that is for me. Anyway, there we are. We were actually able to do this, mostly because we did have a Swadian Knight and a Nord Warrior with us in comparison to what we had last time, which was basically just some really, really low tier units that died almost instantly upon spawning in, which was not exactly great. But anyway, let's just take a bunch of units, take a bunch of Nords apparently. And I will take, I actually don't know. I guess we'll take some more of the Nord Huntsman, and that is pretty much all we can do. Okay, so we're just going to take some of the loot. Obviously, loot is not really what I'm looking for right here, and I'm actually wondering what I should do about this. Should I give it to Lord Knudarr? I feel like I should give it to Lord Knudarr. Should I be that audacious? Or should I give it to Nelag? Because here's the thing, Nelag is kind of a bit irritated at the moment, and he might leave, but he only has a castle, so I don't really know whether that really makes any difference. Whereas Knudarr has always helped me. He's always come along, even if he had a very small army. I'm going to give it to Knudarr. I'm going to give it to Knudarr and see what actually happens, because maybe he's actually going to do something amazing with it. You never know. So he's going to have it. Everyone's really irritated at me right now, thanks to that particular decision. So we'll see what happens with it. I'm hopeful that they will not decide to leave and take their castles with them. That would be very bad, actually. But we'd probably be able to take it back without too many difficulties, I guess. Anyway, there we are. Let's go into the tavern. I'm still looking for those companions, by the way. I'm still looking for 2 companions that I need to join me, but I have not found them, which is really strange, actually. It's one of those times where you just think to yourself, what's actually going on with the randomized nature of Warband? Because it's really not giving me the ability to find these guys. I don't know why. Really, really strange. Because obviously they spawn in random places, and then they move around randomly and everything, but I have just not come across them at all. So it's very, very strange. But yeah, anyway, we've taken YALEN, which is perfect. And now I'm actually thinking, do I need to really be that worried about the Vaegirs? Because look at what we're doing right now. We're actually dismantling the Rhodoks in a pretty big way, all things considered. I'm actually thinking maybe we'll be okay here. You know, I've got 119 units. Bear in mind that these are obviously, well, some of them are very low tier, so of course we can't really count our chickens just yet. Basically, we've got to be a bit careful about things. But I'm going to go over to Valuka, because I would like to see... yeah, they are offering a peace agreement. Okay, I think I will probably take it. But only because we are currently at war against the Vaegirs. I could be really audacious right now if I had more... Okay, here's the thing. If I had more of a... Well, if I had more confidence, shall we say, in my own army composition, I would reject this in a heartbeat. But I don't have that much confidence in my army at the moment. I think I'm okay. I think they're actually good at what they do. But I'm a bit worried about rejecting it and then having to deal with the Vaegirs and the Rhodoks at the same time. You know what? You know what? You haven't lived when you haven't rejected the first peace offer. So I'm going to reject the first peace offer, and we're going to go into Valuka and try to take it. There are about 400 units there as well. And we're going to go in straight away. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, okay, wait a minute. It seems like this is the same layout as what we were facing beforehand. Okay, this is going to be interesting. If we can get onto the battlements, I think we'll probably be fine. but that is a very big if. Because as far as I'm aware, they have better defenders in this garrison than they did before. And also I just took massive amounts of damage because I got shot in the face. Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Yeah, gotta love getting shot in the face every single time. Well, it didn't happen last time actually, so I guess I'm due a little bit of a little bit of shooting in the face, I guess, right? Yeah. Okay, well, at the least we can basically do a little bit of damage here and there. Maybe I can... zooming in is just absolutely my bane. I should just not zoom in ever, because apparently not zooming in makes... Look, I mean, look at my headshot right there. Yeah, someone actually mentioned that as well, and you seem to have the same... the same experience with zooming in that I do, where if you zoom in, all of a sudden your accuracy just goes to nothingness. And yeah, that seems to be the case actually. Bit weird, but anyway, here we go. Let's see if I can clear this out. There we are. Don't get shot in the face, sir. I'm almost getting shot in the face. Okay, there we go. Gotta be careful here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And there aren't any enemies over there, as far as I can tell. No, no, no. Oh, wow. That's a lot of crossbowmen. Okay, that is a huge amount of crossbowmen. What's actually going on here? Why are there so many in the courtyard? I'm going to just jump down. Why are there so many in the courtyard? I actually have no idea. Is this where they spawn? Is this their reinforcement zone? If this is their reinforcement zone, then I am being very risky right now. Okay. Okay, yeah. This is indeed the reinforcement zone. Okay, so this is problematic. I've got to be very careful. I really want to help this hired blade out. I want to make sure that he doesn't die. So I'm just going to try and do as much damage as possible to these areas over here. Try to clear them out. But I've also got to be careful because I don't want to get shot. And I also don't want to get swarmed, because here's the thing. More enemies spawning in, they are going to obviously want to swarm us. And that's actually one of the things that Warband AI does really well in combat situations like this. They will always swarm you at the worst possible moment for you, basically. So they will always take the best opportunity and they will turn completely feral against you. And they will make it very, very difficult for you to survive that particular encounter. So that's what Warband AI is really, really good at. And I feel like Bannerlord AI does have a little bit of that. Oh wow, I just got shot in the face. That was really bad. I'm gonna die very soon. Anyone looking at me right now? I don't see anyone. Okay, how many have we killed? Okay, we only killed like 3. Yeah, that's really bad actually. I didn't want to get shot so early on. I don't know what I can really do here. What can I do? I mean, I can do some damage around the corner. I can try and shoot them with my crossbow a little bit. Oh, I think that's terrible. I think this is really, really inefficient and really bad. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. This is not going to work. I'm going to either die or I'm just going to continue killing with my buddy. Yeah, there we go. I just can't stand back and utilize such an inefficient way of attacking for such a long period of time. If we were actually okay, and I'm talking about if my forces weren't losing so many units, then I'd be okay to do that. I'd be okay to stand back and basically just allow my forces to do their own thing. But as it stands, I don't want them to be I don't want them to have so many casualties. You know, I don't want them to be killed so heavily every single time. So that was the reason why I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it with the crossbow for the moment. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back in. Don't worry, we're gonna go back in easy. I think we're probably gonna be absolutely fine with taking this because it feels to me like we should be okay. Krahask was actually defeated in battle, as well as was Nelag? He was defeated as well? Okay, that's actually kind of interesting. Wouldn't have expected that in a million years. Oh, there we go. We actually have someone helping. Look who it is. Lord Aedin and Lord Knudarr. Oh yeah, they seem to be friends of ours. Oh yes, they seem to be friends of ours. They're actually helping us a great deal, so much more than I would have expected from any of the AI vassals, because generally the AI can be very, very selfish at times, and they can basically just leave. You know, they can just leave you to your own devices. But thankfully, these two have been at our back the entire time. And I gotta say, I'm really, really appreciative of that. They seem to turn up when we need them the most, as I said before. Really surprising to see that, actually. Anyway, let's just clear out the crossbowman once more, destroy this guy's shield. This is exactly the reason why I have this bardiche. It does so much damage to shields. That guy... Okay, that was amusing. Okay, he decided that he would rather jump off the battlements than actually face us in combat. Okay, I guess I don't blame him. You know, if you're faced with someone that's really, really strong, then I guess it would probably be a good idea to do that. I've done the same thing. I have done the same thing, so I don't blame him. Anyway, let me see if I can actually just survive doing battle against some random archers. And yeah, we're already basically done. Yes, we're already basically done with this particular siege. That's kind of the reason why I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? Let's just retreat, because in these situations, it might be a good idea just to get a fresh run at the opponent. You know, just a fresh run at them, and then see what we can do with that. It seems maybe like a good idea most of the time. If you end up losing a lot of casualties at one point, it may be a good idea to just, you know, retreat, recharge, and then go straight back on in and see what you can do. And that seems to be working out quite nicely for me right now. As you can see, look at that. We've only got 5 enemies remaining, and now my forces are just going to run into each other, staring at the wall like they do before they start moving onward. And that will be that. And then we will have taken Veluca. And you know what's really funny about this? I was contemplating not taking this just purely for the fact that I saw so many enemies inside. But the way that the balancing works in the sieges actually speaks volumes for the whole numbers versus siege layout thing. Because obviously I was talking in the previous episode about the whole deal where, you know, siege layout matters more than basically anything. And in this case, yeah, again, it still holds true in this particular instance as well, because this siege layout is perfect for slaughtering huge amounts of the defenders. And you'd think, well, that's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be, you know, protecting the defenders and so on, right? It's supposed to be protecting them. But no, that is actually not what seems to happen here. And we seem to have a really, really easy time of just killing everyone. So yeah, see, now these are definitely the ones where you want to just capitalize on that and gain as much experience as possible. I'm going to be giving this to Lord Aedin. Once again, he and Knudarr came along, helped us out in the worst possible moment of our you know, time attempting to run around here and besiege things. Because we needed the help. We needed the numbers, you know? We need the numbers to come in to try and offset the battle advantage that the enemy would have had instead. And that makes a huge difference. I don't think I've actually taken Mateld. No, I haven't. So I'm going to be offering her to join us. And then I'm just going to get some right to rule from her. So we're just going to tell her to spread the word, and so to speak. There we go. Yes, wonderful. And then we got our first Nord Huskar as well. As I say, I've got a bunch of Rhodoks in my party. I'm not a big fan of that because obviously, apart from the morale problems that they're going to cause, it is also just... Me personally, I'm not a big fan of the way the Rhodoks are. I think that their units are fine and their crossbowmen are obviously great. But me personally, I prefer others. That's it. I just prefer others over them. That's it. But yeah, otherwise, we actually leveled up. So let's go and spec another point into intelligence, and then we're going to be specing into... I can't actually spec in... now I'm grumbling. I'm grumbling all the way to the engineering department, because apparently the engineer, I can't actually spec in that just yet, because I need 21 in intelligence. How sad, how sad. Anyway, I'm actually wondering now, should I go for some more pathfinding? What else is there to do? I could go for shield, but that's pretty much it. Shield, prisoner management. I could do persuasion. persuasion, but that's not really going to make any difference for me at all, actually. I could do inventory management. That also wouldn't really make that much difference, so I'm just going to spec 1 point in pathfinding and another point in inventory management, I guess. There's not really anything else I can do, as I say. And yeah, there's Valuka. So we've taken that, and now the only thing remaining is Colmar Castle, Almera Castle, which is the Nightmare Siege, like I was talking about, and Ibdeles, as well as Jaukala. And then we just have the Vaegirs. They have not really moved on us at all, so I think it was a good decision not to make peace with the Rhodoks, because look at what we've been doing right now. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.